If you've ever prayed hard and nothing changed, and you started wondering if God was even listening, don't scroll for a second, because what I'm about to show you might completely change how you see that silence. Because sometimes what feels like God ignoring you is actually Him doing something deeper that you can't see yet. I didn't always believe that. I used to think an unanswered prayer meant God just didn't care. I remember seasons where I prayed with everything I had, asking God to change something I believed was right, something I believed was good. I prayed with tears, with urgency, with faith that felt real at the time. But nothing moved. The situation stayed the same. The door didn't just stay closed, it felt locked. And after a while, that silence started to feel personal. It felt like I was being ignored. It felt like God had stepped back instead of stepping in. And if I'm being honest, that's where frustration started turning into something deeper. Doubt. Not loud doubt, not rebellion, just that quiet question that creeps in when nothing changes. Are you even hearing me? That's where everything shifted for me. I came across something I had read before, but this time it hit different. The Apostle Paul talks about what he calls a thorn in his flesh. Nobody knows exactly what it was, but we know it was painful, constant, and it didn't go away. And Paul didn't just casually pray about it, he pleaded with God to take it away. Multiple times. This wasn't a weak prayer. This was a desperate one, and God's answer wasn't healing. It wasn't removal. It wasn't relief. God said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That changes everything, because God didn't say no to punish Paul. He didn't ignore him. He responded in a completely different way than Paul expected. The very thing Paul wanted removed was the exact place where God's power was going to show up the strongest. Not after the struggle, but inside of it. And once that clicked, I started seeing a pattern. Jesus himself in the garden before the cross prayed for another way. "Let this cup pass from me." If anyone deserved a yes, it was him. But the answer was still no. Not because God wasn't listening, but because something bigger was unfolding. That moment of silence led to the greatest act of redemption the world has ever seen. So now when I look at unanswered prayers, I don't see abandonment the same way anymore. Sometimes it's not a closed door forever. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's preparation. Sometimes it's a deeper work happening in you that couldn't happen any other way. And I know that doesn't make the waiting easy. It doesn't remove the frustration. But it changes how you carry it. So if you're in that place right now where you've been praying and nothing seems to be moving, don't assume God has stepped away. He might be working in a way that doesn't match your expectation, but still leads somewhere better than you can see right now. And maybe the shift isn't just asking for the outcome anymore. Maybe it's learning to say, even when it's hard, "Not my will, but yours." Because a no from God is not rejection. A lot of times it's redirection. If this helped you even a little, subscribe and share this with someone who's been struggling in silence. You're not the only one going through this.